Hey everybody, and welcome back to Bakes by Vasko. I'm Michelle with 1L, and I'm glad you're here. Well, today we're keeping it completely classic because we are baking a good old-fashioned key lime pie. Now, this isn't a key lime cheesecake. We are making the real deal authentic recipe with a buttery graham cracker crust and a smooth tart key lime custard that sets up beautifully. If you have been looking for the ultimate refreshing summer dessert recipe that hits that perfect balance of sweet and tart, let's get right to it and I'll show you how to press the crust. Okay, now what you're going to need for your crust is a sleeve of graham crackers, which will equal out to 9 sheets, 6 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar packed, and 2 tablespoons of white granulated sugar. Now I'm going to use my food processor to do this, and it's super simple. You just want to break up your graham crackers. Like I said, 1 package is 9 of these sheets, and that will go into your 9-inch pie pan. While you're doing this, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees because you're going to pre-bake this while you're making your filling. All right, now you've got your graham crackers. You add both your sugars. Now you're going to use the pulse and just let it break up until it's in fine crumbs. Doesn't take very long. Be careful, check for any big bumps. Now that you've got a nice fine crumb mixture, you're going to take your 6 tablespoons of melted butter and just pour that on top. And then you're going to pulse it again until everything is coated and it sticks together when pinched. All right. That's sticky. So now we are ready to transfer this into our 9-inch pie pan. I have buttered the bottom just a little bit so that the crust doesn't completely stick, even though it's already buttery. Amazingly enough, you would think that putting butter in here would make it really stick and not come out, but it is super simple. If you don't have a food processor, you can use the old-fashioned method of baggie and a rolling pin or something heavy and break them up by hand, and then just add your butter to a bowl and mix them up and then do the same thing. But if you've got a food processor, I highly recommend it. So now you just want to take and press this into the bottom of your pan. You want to take the back of a measuring cup to help you get a nice even press. You also want to make sure you go up the sides just a little bit. Try to keep it even. Got a nice even base there. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to put this into our oven now, 350 degrees, for 10 minutes. Now that your pie crust is out of the oven, you want to let it set for about 10 minutes to cool off while you get everything together for your filling. Your filling is very simple. It is a 1/2 cup of key lime juice. It is a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, and it is 3 egg yolks. Yolks only. So we'll get that all together, let the pie crust cool, and we'll get the filling ready. We are now ready to make our key lime pie filling. Once again, you need a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Add that to your bowl. Make sure you use a rubber spatula to completely get every drop. Stubborn little pocket there. Try not to use your fingers to scrape it off because it is ultra sticky. Then we need 3 egg yolks, yolks only. Use your whites for something else or discard them. And then finally, a 1/2 cup of key lime juice. I use Nellie and Joe's. It is very authentic. Unless you can find actual key limes, and they take a very lot to juice those out. So now we're just going to give this a nice mix until it's smooth and creamy. right, now that you have your smooth, creamy mixture, we're going to pour this into our ready pie crust. And so this is one of the easiest pies there probably is to make because it is so few ingredients and so simple. And it's definitely my favorite. I grew up with my mom making these. She was an expert at it. They were her best thing. Always requested. And I think she'd be proud of me. And just smooth your filling out. There you go. Now, this is ready for your oven, 350 degrees for 15 minutes. Our pie is beautifully baked now out of the oven. The crust is golden. The custard has set up. Now you're going to want to let this sit for 10 minutes and rest, and then we will put it in the refrigerator to chill so that we can top it off with homemade whipped cream before we serve it up and eat it. Did you know how easy whipped cream really is to make? Super simple. You need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And you're just going to put all that in a bowl and whip it together until it's creamy and peaks form. Super simple, and it's so much better on your fresh baked key lime pie than anything you could buy at the store. So let's do this. 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, and our 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. You almost need a rubber spatula to scrape it out because it's so thick. You can either whisk this by hand, and it just takes a lot of patience, or you can use an electric mixer. Just make sure you mix thoroughly to get any liquid that might be hiding out on the bottom while the top is getting fluffy. So let's get to it. All right, we have a nice thick whipped cream now. It is ready to decorate our key lime pie. So I'm gonna pull that out of the fridge. I'm gonna load up my decorating tool, and then I will show you how to make a simple scalloped edge before we get to the best part. We are now ready for the final step, decorating our key lime pie with our fresh whipped cream. I also have some lime slices to add to it for a little extra, and then we'll get to the best part. So if you followed me, you have seen me use my decorating tool before. I loaded it full of fresh whipped cream, and I'm just gonna give it a quick little scalloped edge. If you don't have access to something like this, a pastry bag works just as good, or a Ziploc with the corner cut off, just to give you a little bit of control over what you're using. You don't need a whole lot because the key lime pie is good on its own, but you gotta have a little. There we go. Not perfect, but that's kind of the tip's fault too. This is nice soft whipped cream. It didn't have time to refrigerate, so that's all right. Now I'm just gonna take some lime slices, put them around the edge, no particular fashion. All right. That looks beautiful to me. Good enough to eat. Once again, everybody, this is Bakes by Vasko, and I'm Michele with 1L. If you haven't already, be sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, and give this a like and a thumbs up. If you try it, tell me in the comments. As always, the best part of anything I bake is the eating. This is definitely my favorite pie, my favorite dessert of all time. Happy summer. Perfect. See you next time.